You had a front row seat to history this year as the bench coach in St. Louis. For a guy who played alongside Albert Pujols all those years, and to see his renaissance and the rejoining of, a player and a franchise that maybe a divorce never should have happened, but whatever, it happened for a decade, and he comes back and finished the way he finished. Did you get the goosies?
I did. I wouldn't say I've worded it like that, the goosies, but yeah, but it was a surreal year, honestly. I didn't know going into this that we were going to have Albert until late in spring training. Um, Stuff happened in spring where we identified we need a right-handed bat that could hit lefties. And there he was, right? I contacted Mark McGuire in the offseason, kind of asked, hey, what's he look like? Because he lives right by him in Irvine. He's like, hey, dude, he's still got it. I was like, all right, so I relayed it to Ollie. Ollie starts talking to him. And, we signed him. The first couple months, was tough. It was tough on Ollie. It was tough on me. It was tough on us when we're pinch hitting Albert Pujols against a righty. I mean, that was not easy when he's on deck and a bullpen guy, that's throwing 98 from the right-hand side is coming in, and, Ollie, a rookie manager as well, is like, calling him back, and we're pinch hitting him for, a lefty. And, hit both of us look at each other like, God, man, what are we doing? This is crazy, right? But, at the time, the numbers and, what Albert, last couple of years against righties, the numbers, they just weren't great. That's just what it was. And Albert, to his credit, was on board. Hey, whatever you think is going to help us win, you do what you need to do. And I think that gave Ollie like, okay, a deep breath. So if I have to do it, I can call him back. It still was not easy. Fast forward, we go to about the All-Star break, or actually right before the All-Star break, we're in Atlanta. Albert makes a couple of adjustments, and all of a sudden the ball's coming off the bat, kind of like 2011 days, right? I'm like, hang on, what's going on? So he said, hey, I made a couple of adjustments. I feel really good. I'm like, all right. Well, about a week before that, he finds out that he's going to the home run derby. So a lot of times players can tell you, oh yeah, no, I'm feeling great, but they're trying to convince themselves that they're feeling great when actually looking at you, you look terrible. Well, actually, Albert now gets to figure out if this thing is working or not in a home run derby. And it kind of ignited him like, hey, can I still do this thing in a derby in a big setting? I think that derby just rejuvenated him and like, hey, watch what I can do. That's what it should look like as far as, everybody embracing who this guy was. And it was really a special moment watching that home run derby. If that week didn't happen, he never told me this, I'm not sure we see Albert like the rest of the year. I don't know, because he just was not feeling like he was helping the team, right? It was he was in a weird spot, right? Like just mentally, physically, because he's used to being Albert, right? I mean, this is for me, the best right-handed hitter ever. And I know that I'm going to get crap for that, and that's okay, because I've seen him do it in huge, high-leverage situations over and over and over again. So that's my always take on Albert. So then he comes back after the All-Star break, and it's like, what the hell just happened? Like, it is just like he's back. Whatever I know what the adjustment he made, but the adjustment that he made is now like short, right to the ball. He's always had his strength. And now I'm just like, I can hit righties, I can hit lefties. And we couldn't get this guy out of the lineup. And honestly, if he wasn't on our team, I'm not sure we make that run, and bypass Milwaukee without Albert in that lineup, because that's, that month of September, Goldie didn't have the best month ever, even though he won the MVP. And, Nolan was always great. But the rest of the guys were doing their thing, but we didn't have that like consistent, just like, hey, we need a 3-run home run right here. Just like in 2011, Albert, yeah, go ahead and do it real quick for us. We don't have that. We didn't have that guy, right? And so all of a sudden he was Albert Pujols again, and I'm so happy. I'm getting goosies thinking about it right now.
Told you.
watching him do what he did, because if anybody deserves that in front of his family in LA, the whole deal. I mean, you just could not have scripted it any better.